Everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lillian. In this video we are going to be making a detachable cut together cape. When I said cut together, it means that the front and back are not going to be cut separately. It's going to be cut together. Okay, so this is my pattern paper. I'm going to go ahead right now to draft our my body measurements. But before I do that, I've already gone ahead to draw a line at the top of this pattern paper that will serve as our shoulder line. Then from there I measured my bust, my under bust, and also my waist, and then extend the lines. Once I'm done doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to draft my shoulder. Okay, my shoulder is 8 inches. That is 16 divided by 2. So I made a point there, and then from there I marked my shoulder slope, which is 1 inch. Then my neck width is 3 inches, while my neck depth is also 3 inches. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead to extend this shoulder slope to the neckline. This is my neckline, the depth of my neckline. Okay, so I have made a point there. Now I'm trying to connect it. You can see it. And the next step we are going to do is to mark our armhole. But before we do that, we have to divide our round bust measurement by 6. Whatever it gives us, we'll add 1.5 to it. So whenever I do that, it will give me 8 inches. That is what I'm trying to draft here. So I've gone ahead to make a point and then connect it back to the shoulder slope. Now I'm going to rule this line. This line is going to serve as our chest line. And then I'll find the midpoint of this my armhole, which is 4 inches. Remember, the armhole is 8 inches. Now the midpoint is 4 inches. I found the midpoint and then made a point there. Then divide my round bust measurement by 4 and then mark it on the chest line. You can see what I'm doing here. And from the mid of this armhole, I went in by 7.5. You can do 0.5. Okay, and then I'm extending it right now to the point I made earlier. And now we are going to get our bust span. My bust span is 8 inches divided by 2, 4. So I'm marking the 4 right now. I'll mark it on the bust line, under bust, and also the waistline. Then extend this line to the top. So now I'm done doing that. I'm going to go ahead to label all these lines so we won't be confused. Okay, and after that I'll go to my waistline to mark 0.5 in both that legs. Okay, you can see what I'm trying to do here. After that, from the bust line, I'm going to come down by ½ inch and then extend the lines, the dot lines, to the ½ inch. The next step is for us to mark our body measurement, which is our round bust divided by 4. I'll mark it on the bust line, and also I'll divide my under bust by 4 and mark it, and also repeat the same thing on the waistline. After that, I'm going to connect all the dots. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to replace my dart intake, which is 1 inch. So I'm going to replace it by the side and then reconnect this side. Okay, now we are done drafting the front. I'm going to go ahead and cut all the areas that I do not need, then keep it aside so we can cut the back. Okay, and now that I'm done cutting out this front, the next thing I'm going to do is to work on the back, which I have already brought out the pattern paper and also marked a shoulder line, which will serve as our starting point. And now there is something I want to explain here. If you want your own cape to have an open in the front, that means you are going to mark this zipper allowance in the front. Okay, but I want my own to be at the back. That's why I'm marking this. You can put zip, you can put button. Okay, right now I'm going to mark this zipper allowance, okay, which I'm going to use for my zipper or my button, whichever one you want to use. Okay, now I've already gone ahead to mark it, which is 1 inch from the top to the down, which is the full length of this pattern, which is our waistline. Then I'll go ahead and mark my body measurement, starting from the line I ruled at the top. So after marking that, I extended the line. So you can see I marked bust line here. Normally you are not supposed to mark bust line on the back whenever you're drafting your back pattern. You don't need a bust point there, okay? But I added it because I want to use it later, and then went ahead to label all the lines. The next step right now is for us to get our shoulder line. Every measurement starts from this zipper allowance, okay? From this zipper line. That is where your measurement starts from. I marked my shoulder line and then mark my shoulder slope just the same way we drafted the front. But my back neckline, neck depth is going to be 1.5 inch. The width is 3 inches, okay? So I've gone ahead to make a point there. Now I'm reconnecting all the points. You can see what I'm trying to do here. And then my shoulder, my armhole, just like the same way we drafted the front, 8 inches, okay? And then find the midpoint as well and connect just the same way we drafted the front. And another thing, there was something I forgot to mention earlier when I was marking the body measurement. Okay, the front and back half length are not the same, remember that. Okay, the difference is always 2 inches or 1.5. My own is just 1.5 inches. That is the difference between my front and back half length, which is my front is 16.5, while my back is 15 inches. Okay, guys, I hope I'm not confusing you because of what I was explaining earlier. Okay, now we are going to, this is just the same way I drafted the front. Okay, now I'm going to extend this back chest line because I'm going to need it for my darts. Remember, every back dart starts from the chest line. And now I'm done doing that. I'm going to go in by 4 inches, which is our bust span. Remember that every measurement starts from the zipper line, okay? So I went in by 4 inches. Okay, I marked it on the chest line. I marked it on the length of this pattern. Then went out by 1/2 inch and connect it back to the chest line. And now I'm marking my body measurement, which is my round bust divided by 4, and my round waist, my round under bust. Okay. So after that, I also replaced my dart intake just the same way we drafted the front, and then connect it back. Always remember to replace your dart intake, okay? And then the next thing I'm going to do is to contour my zipper, okay? I went in by 1/2 inch from the 1 inch I marked earlier, and then use my ruler to connect it to the top. You can see how I placed the ruler. This is how you connect it from the waistline. Went in by 1/2 inch and then connect it to the top. And this is the back. I've gone ahead to cut out the areas that I do not need, okay? And this is the front as well. So I'm going to cut out this zipper side, okay? Remember, we contoured our zipper, so I'm going to cut out this 1/2 inch. Now we are done doing this. The next thing we are going to do is to bring in another paper that is very big and then place our pattern paper on it. And I want to show you something at the shoulder and also the armhole area. I made a point there, a yellow sign. You can see it, a yellow dot. Please, that area should have at least 2 inches. The upper part should have 1.5 inch, while the down part should have 2 inches, okay? That is for space, so that the cape doesn't make you uncomfortable or very tight on you. So now we are done doing that. I'm going to place my ruler this way. I'm going to place it this way and trace all the pattern paper, okay? I'm going to trace this pattern paper on this on the one underneath, okay? Body, shoulder, but your make sure you add 1/2 inch on your neckline, okay? You can see what I'm trying to do because you are going to use it to turn it with the lining. Now to make it more visible, I used my marker, okay? So you can see it very well. You can see what I'm trying to do here. Now I am done doing this. I'm going to remove the main pattern paper. And guys, from this pointed area that is our side, I'm going to make it straight. I don't like the way it's looking, so I'm going to make it straight and then connect it to the center of this front. You can see what I'm trying to do here. And then I extended it to the up and repeated the same thing on the other side. And from this point, I came down by 2 inches. I repeated the same thing on the other side and then connect it back. And this is our back area. Okay, the camera did not capture the other side, which is our front center. So but whatever that was done here was also done on the same side. So now I've cut out the areas that I do not need. This is it, okay, the front and back. When you fold it like this, you can see it. So now we are done doing this. I'm kind of thinking that the length is still very long. So from the shoulder, I marked 13 inches instead of 14 inches that was marked earlier. So I now marked 13 inches and then use my ruler to mark a straight line, and then went ahead to I came down from the center of the front and back by 1 inch and then connect it to this side. You can see how I place my ruler. Connect it. This is side. You can see that area is side when you fold it into 2. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off and show you. You can see it. This is the front and this is the back. You can see how it's looking now, very straight. Okay, now this is the fabric I'm going to be using to work on it. So this is the folded area, which is the front. The front should be on the folded area, on the folded edge. You can see it. The front should be on the folded edge. You can see how I place this pattern paper. Please guys, I want to explain something here. If your front is going to be open, that means the back should be on the folded edge, because the back is going to be closed. That means when you are cutting it on the fabric, the back should be on the folded edge. But because my own front is closed, that's why it's on the folded edge. Okay, and make sure you add ½ an inch on the shoulder line for the turning of the lining. Okay, and this is it after cutting it on the fabric. You can see how it's looking. You can see how it's looking, and the down part is still pointing out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove it. You can see how I remove it. It's now better. You can see it. You can see how it's looking now. It's better than before. You can see it. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing on the lining. My lining, I don't have much lining, so I'm going to patch this lining. Okay, and this is it, me joining it together. The first thing you are going to do is to join the neckline. You can see it. Join the neckline first with your lining, that is the front fabric and also the front lining facing each other. You join them, then notch it and top stitch it, pushing the seam to the lining. Okay, you can see what I'm doing here, and then use your iron and iron it very well. You can see the neck, and then repeat the same thing on the back neck. You can see what I'm trying to do, facing each other. That is the front and back facing each other, and then sew it and then top stitch, push it to the lining and top stitch it. Now we are done working on the neckline. We are going to work on the shoulder. Please pay attention on this shoulder area. You can see how I'm turning it. Please pay attention on this area so you don't make mistake. You are going to join it together just the way you normally join your shoulder together, but this one is kind of different. Okay, and this is how we go about it. Join it this way, that is like this, and then sew it from the center. You can see what I'm trying to do here. you sew it, you sew by 1/2 inch that was added when I was cutting it on the fabric. You remember that I added 1/2 inch on the fabric, so this is it. And then repeat the same thing on the lining. Use 0.5, which is 1/2 inch, to sew it. You can see it. I'm going to show the second one as well, so that you understand what I'm trying to say here. So you can see this is how it's looking. Then turn it to the right, to the wrong side, that is facing each other. You can see it as well. Then turn it this way and sew. Now we are done doing that. I'm going to attach this stripe that I've already gone ahead to arrange. This, you put it inside, then use your lining, and on the top you can see where I am placing it. Use your lining and cover it. Then sew it with 1 inch that was used for our zipper. Remember, our zipper was added, what I added for our zipper was 1 inch, so you are going to use 1 inch to sew it. You can see. And then I marked 5 inches from the top to sew the second one. After sewing the first one, I marked 5 inches to sew the second one. You can see what I'm doing here. This stripe should be inside, okay? And then use your lining and close it. Now we are done doing that. I'm going to also sew the down part. Okay, I'll sew the down part by 1/2 inch, and then I also repeated the same thing on the other side, but on the other side, which is where the zipper is, I left 1/2 inch there so that I can use it and turn the cloth to the right side. You can see what I'm doing here. So after arranging it, this is it. I went ahead to close that area, the area that I used to turn it to the right side. You can see I've turned it, I've sewn it, I've closed it. I folded it inside and sew it, okay? And this is it after working on it and tie your stripes. This is the final look of this video. If this video is helpful, do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Bye.